Thank you for being here. My name is Maria. I work at Bybit. Following up, we have a panel. The panel topic is about what does it even mean doing marketing in crypto. I'll be your host, and I'm introducing the three speakers. First, we have Maria Magenes as our moderator. She's a marketeer and community builder behind Hype and Spaghetti, curates events and narratives at the heart of the European crypto scene. Welcome. Second, we have Ginevra Maggi. She is a marketing lead at Neon EVM, alum of Safari Club. You can come off the stage. Shapes Web3 GTM and growth strategies across ecosystems from Ethereum to Solana. Lastly, we have Alexander Guy. He's head of marketing at Sinion, led user growth to 1.5 million wallets and 2 billion volume. Specializes in multi-network adoption and on-chain user acquisition. Please give a warm welcome to our panel.
So, should we use this? Yes, right? Okay. So, guys, thank you for being here. You're 5 people. So, I'm the moderator, but also a panelist. And yeah, we will chat about marketing. Actually, yesterday night we went out for dinner and we already talked about this, and probably we will repeat the same topic. But of course, even if Maria did already a great job actually to introduce us, so do you want to say anything else about yourself, or it's fine? Let's introduce ourselves for a second.
So hi again, I'm Ginevra, marketing manager at Neon. Our value proposition is to bring projects from the EVM side to Solana without them having to change their code base. Been in the space for a couple of years, for the past 4 years, and yeah, thank you for being here.
Yeah, so I'm Alex. I was the first marketing hire at Syrian. So Syrian is like basically one of the leading EVM wallets, although we just launched Solana support as well. Basically, Syrian is mobile first. We've been like in the space for a while, and am I doing something wrong? Am I doing something wrong? But basically, like Zerion has about 500,000 monthly active users right now. We processed $2 billion in trading volume last year. We have an exploding microphone, so yeah.
Should we use this too? I think like maybe Alex with them, because maybe it's sorry.
I'm struggling with the other one.
Okay, so yeah, I think so. I'm Maria. As Maria, thank you, Maria. Already said, I am quite an OG like Alex in the space. I joined in 2018. I have been leading the 5 big projects from a marketing point of view, like Aave, Maker, and Balancer. Now I work for an agency, but I also co-founded Spaghetti, which is the Italian Ethereum community, let's say. So I'm very happy to be here in Napoli to talk about marketing. And the first question is actually the title of the panel, I think, as well, which is, what does marketing means, crypto marketing means in your opinion, and how do you measure success of marketing? Because we see a lot of different, a lot of projects. Now, for example, I work with several clients, and some of them ask KPIs like TVL, some of them like community increase, like community building, some of them like Twitter follower base. So what's your measure of, what is the measure of success in crypto marketing, in your opinion?
Yeah, sure. So in my opinion, doing marketing in crypto is doing marketing, just like traditional marketing, but what happens is that the space is so early. So you have to, let's say, experiment a lot because there is not a playbook. And the metrics will highly depend on what you do. But I think that a successful project is the one that focuses on retention and not only to the top of the funnel metrics.
Yeah, so I mean, as a wallet, like one of the things that was really, when I joined 4 years ago at Syrian, like one of the things that was really like confusing to me coming from a Web 2 background is like the lack of available data in terms of figuring out like who these people are, where they came from, what channel brought them. In general, it was very, very, very confusing and sort of destabilizing to me. And I think it's actually been a 4-year journey for us where we finally now are able to really think about this in a much more meaningful way. So I'll just talk about like the metrics that are important for me as a marketer from a wallet perspective. Like in crypto generally, the idea of like authenticity and like real users is like totally, let's say, a moving target. And so for us, like what we've always tried to talk about was like when we think about a real user at the wallet level, it's somebody who's like actually put money into this wallet. So like it's not just a new wallet that's been created. It's like, okay, this is a funded wallet. So we define this metric for us as a funded wallet. So we're then thinking about new funded wallets, and then we treat retention as like a trading wallet. So we want people to be trading. Those are the two most important metrics for us as a business. And like me as a marketer, I'm trying to drive new funded wallets and new trading wallets pretty aggressively. Now, what's still very hard for me and what's still difficult for us to say definitively is like what channel brought those new funded or new trading wallets. Because it's just we lose so many different like touch points along the funnel that like it still is really difficult to say for sure. But I know the last touch point, and so I can assign some sort of attribution to channels like from the last touch point perspective. But in terms of the full funnel picture, even 4 years later, it's still an area where I think that like crypto marketing is lagging behind like Web 2, at least for me.
Cool. I agree with everything you said. I wouldn't add anything. Otherwise, it becomes boring. I think the next questions could be. I think we deserve here to discuss about the new trends in crypto marketing because so far we have seen a lot of like all basically the crypto marketing done on two channels, basically Discord and for community and Twitter for amplification, I would say. Also due to the fact that sometimes paid ads were blocked because Google blocked ads. Meta also blocked a lot of ads, so we stopped using these channels, even if I would say we never used them so much. There was a period where we were all on Reddit, on forums, writing papers. Maybe you were not there yet. Awful. But now also we saw the emerging of on-chain new channel, for example, Lens and Farcasser, and also a revamp of traditional Web 2 channels, like for example paid ads or TikTok, for example, which is a new trend. So I would like to discuss this and how do you think we are evolving towards, if we are following the Web 2 path, so like the 70s fashion that is back now, we are doing the same with the Web 2 marketing in Web 3, or we are actually embracing new channels like on-chain channels. In my opinion, I will give my opinion first. We are copy-pasting the Web 2 stuff because it's working better, and also I don't think on-chain channels are now ready to do actual marketing. And also, I don't think these channels would help us in onboarding new audience, while Web 2 channels do. So, in my opinion, we are doing the same as, copy-pasting the strategies that were used in Web 2 1 year ago, maybe.
Yeah, I think I also agree on this, and I think the reason is not just that they perform better, so they're like proven playbooks, which is something that you mentioned, I think, originally, Maria, is like, there just aren't in crypto. Oh no, it was you. But basically, like, to me, the reason why we're sort of returning to Web 2 channels or looking at Web 2 channels is actually because that's where users are. And like crypto has faced like a really, I would say, existential crisis repeatedly, where we get into this echo chamber on crypto Twitter, and we all talk to the same like however many million users or hundreds of thousands of users. Like, and the reality is that like that's just a very small, not growing pie, honestly. I've been, talking to that same community for about 4 years, and so like they all know us, And so like we've reached a point at Zerion where it's like, okay, if we want to actually grow as a business, if we want to reach new people, if we want to actually fulfill our mission, like we have to talk to people on these other channels. And I'm not going to say this in a negative way, but like dumb down a message to like a person who's just like interested in crypto, heard about it, wanted to try it. Much more simple messaging on these channels that are much more high reaching because, excuse me, because if we're ever going to grow beyond like this initial bubble that we talk about from like a communications perspective, like we have to go to these channels. That's like my opinion, I guess it's maybe not controversial, but like it's certainly for me about the users and where they are.
I agree with everything on my end. Working for an infrastructural project, we target mainly developers that are already in the space. So for us, crypto Twitter for sure stays the most relevant channel. When it comes to Farcaster, I don't know, guys. I think that the platform needs to be very user friendly, and we're not there yet. But just to add something else that applies to Web 2, I think it's going to be more relevant even in our space, focusing on SEO and the GE, also the optimization also on the AI platforms. This is going to help a lot.
Thanks. No. Okay, and then, we talk now about channels, okay? But let's talk about also tactics in terms of trends. So we stepped from, lately we see a lot, for example, of micro KOLs, micro creators, I would say. And so I think I would now talk about actually KOLs, because this was one of the main amplification tactics that we use together with Quest, which is the other topic that we will talk about. But KOLs, do you think they are still relevant, and also are we shifting, because in my opinion we are a bit shifting towards this micro influencer that can actually influence the behavior of ourselves. Like for example, we saw last year, or actually 2 years ago, in Web 2. So if you think about it, we stepped from paying J-Lo to use our product to pay a girl that is followed by, I don't know, 300K that could be my neighbor, and I feel a bit more closer, and so I would buy this shampoo because she uses it, she's nice, I follow her. So are we doing the same, or we are still relying on the big KOLs? And if so, who are the big KOLs? And is the ROI worth it on them?
Jeez, so this is a lot of questions. I guess like on the KOL side of things, like one of the things that obviously has emerged from a marketer's perspective over the last 6 months is Kaido, and like the concept of like yaps, people getting compensated for talking about your product. And like, I think that this is a pretty serious trap for projects, frankly. It can work, but the only way that a KOL of any kind or size, in my opinion, is effective is if like people actually believe what that person is saying. And so like, if there's just a lot of people talking about a project, and you see it they're being compensated in Kaido, how do you even trust, like, as a new user or somebody who's coming to that project or product like new, that that's actually a legitimate opinion that they have, and they're not just doing it basically to be compensated? And so like, to me, like, the micro KOLs I think are important because they've developed a small cult following, like of people who actually believe them. And I think that what you see, we talked about this last night actually, a lot of these people basically don't want to participate in some of this type of yapping, yapping as a service, or like yap saturation, whatever you want to call it, because like they're like, I don't want to pollute my feed with this. Like if people see me doing this, they're going to stop believing what I have to say, which means they're not going to trust me as much. And so like to me, the KOL relationship of any size that you're talking about is like trust. Like how are you trusting this person? How trusted are they? You know, what type of channels do they operate on? Like that's the most important thing for me, because like, you know, as a marketer in this space, but I guess in every industry, you're going to have like a technical founder, most likely, basically saying like, just pay KOLs. Oh, just do Kaido. It'll be so effective, blah, 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 blah. And like, there's a lot to that, right? You'll get a lot of views, a lot of impressions, maybe a lot of clicks. But in terms of staying power and like legitimate users, real users, like I was mentioning in terms of funded wallets, like I'm very suspicious. I'm very dubious if this is a concept. And so like for us at Syrian, we've tried to like think, okay, how can we make like our users like really talk about us, and not because they're going to be compensated, but because maybe they get like a better experience inside the product. It's like we want to give people more for referring us because like they like our product and like they want to tell their friends about it. That route has always felt like much more natural to me from a wallet perspective than the like yapping KOL type stuff. However, you know, we paid KOLs. We've done it before for launches. I think product launches just tactically is a really good time to use KOLs because you have something to say. It's like, we're launching this thing. Here's an offer. You know, this person is very clearly writing about it because we have paid them. It's very transparent that the relationship is not this like fake, you know, sort of like hype kind of stuff that comes
Yeah,
from
and
the
this
app.
is important
Yeah.
to say because I think that here, I don't think KOLs are dead as a channel, but I think it's very, very important and very, very hard to choose the right KOLs and not shouting in the crowd with random people without any interest in shilling your product. These people need to be bought in by the product. So he needs to believe in the mission, and they need to actually know the product and the project, and so this is. I think this is still true, and it helps a lot with the awareness phase. But then, as you said, you need to convert.
Yeah, I will also just say, if you're ever going to work with KOLs, like they're going to give you some kind of rate, and they're going to say like, oh, it costs like $5,000 to do like a Twitter post, you know, and you know, you think a lot of times as a marketer, like, okay, I have to basically accept that, you know, negotiate with these people. As soon as they give you the quote, tell them you're not working with them and you've chosen somebody else. I swear you'll get a better deal. So like, just if you're talking to these people, most likely it's going to be done through Telegram or Twitter DMs, and they're just going to send you a number. And I'm telling you, just negotiate them down as far as you can go, because like you have a budget that somebody's going to look at some point. And like, if you just go and spend like $20,000 on 4 posts, like you're not going to get the right ROI. But if you can negotiate these people down, and I'm telling you, there's so much, they'll give you a number, they'll give you some fancy rate card.
It's like being in the market in Morocco,
Yeah.
Marrakesh.
Yes. Yeah, right. It's exactly like that. It's the Twitter equivalent of this. Like, trust me, they will back down the second you tell them that you're going to go somewhere else. They're like, oh, yeah, actually, somebody gave you a better quote or whatever. And then I think to Maria's point about trust, like, once you have somebody who is delivering for you, like, keeping them in the loop, keeping them happy, and by the way, giving them offers and stuff for like non-financial things. Like, oh, hey, we added you to this whitelist. We're doing this thing. We just added you to the whitelist. Like, no big deal. You don't even have to post about it. They'll post about it, and they'll do it for free. So like, you can just keep that relationship going by giving them the alpha after you've developed that initial like interest with them. Sorry.
So I want to say that coming back to the question, are KOLs working? In my opinion, yes. And also in my experience, it's one of the most effective strategies that you can leverage. But of course, there are many types of KOLs and many ways to reward them. So these tactics that you implement are going to change everything. So I had a super bad experience with the usual KOL that they just tweet about you. They don't even maybe add the link or use a referral, even if you have it. So this is not going to work. But if you manage to make someone that already uses your platform, your creator, but this is a bit different. This is when your users become advocates.
Right.
So in that case, it can work, maybe with a referral program to support it. For example, to me, it was working very well when we collaborated with the YouTubers that were traders, and they actually brought a lot of traffic in terms of volumes on the platform because they knew what they were talking about. Yeah.
I also just tactically, point of advice, if you're going to talk with a KOL, write a document that literally gives them a step-by-step guide about what you want them to do, when, what link do you want them to share, etc., and basically make that, like, tell them multiple times, like, hey, it's going to go out at 2 p.m. This is the link you need to use. You know, like, really, like, you just got to spoon feed these people stuff because they have 100 different conversations going on at once. They're trying to manage all these different campaigns. I imagine it's challenging.
Yeah.
So, like, literally create a document, share it with them, put every single thing that you need in there, like, and just be as clear as hell. Because if you just try to do, like, hey, we've got this launch, like, amplify this, like, that's all they'll do. Like, you won't get any value out of it. So just be, like, really, really, really clear with them.
And going back to the KOLs, micro influencers, I wouldn't call them KOLs, but for example, if you think about it recently, our crypto Twitter timelines is invaded by small creators, like for example, I don't know, Miggy from Sophon, Diana, these people that actually are, in my opinion, a bit the future. Like, we are going towards this path, again, copy-pasting from Web2. These people could be even hired in the team, like, for example, Diana.
Or Miggy.
Or Miggy, but Tap is, for example, standing alone. But some of them are hired by the projects, and they start creating contents mostly and specifically for this project, and they are going all over our timeline. So maybe they influence us even more than the KOLs, maybe, or it's just an awareness and mindshare thing. But still, I think they are very powerful now as a channel for the top part of the funnel. Not for the conversion probably, because they just show their experience with the swag, etc. But for branding and for brand awareness, they are great. So I think the purpose is different. So KOLs are for awareness and also conversion. Micro influencers are more for brand awareness. They serve two different parts of the funnel, in my opinion.
I still think it depends on, like, what your goals are, and, like, you know, because, like, Miggy is very well known to, like, the three of us, you know, or maybe people here. He works for Sophon. It's a new chain, you know. Anyway, he's very well known to us. Like, if you're trying to talk to that community, you know.
Yeah.
I like Miggy, by the way.
I think, but I think that Sophon is a project that, for now, can't go outside our circle, you know. So for the purpose that they have, this kind of thing is perfect. Wallet Connect, that recently hired Diana, they are ready to go outside, and Diana is not just posting on crypto Twitter, she's posting a lot also on Instagram, TikTok. So I mean, and she showed, you know, the swag, her experience. She doesn't even show what is Wallet Connect, but then people maybe interact, and this is an easy product that you can probably use, not like Sophon, which is completely, you know, I don't.
Cool bread.
Yeah, it's an amazing bread, but I didn't yet get exactly what they are proposing, you know. But still, when they will finally launch something usable, then I will have Sophon brand in mind, and I will look at it.
I mean, I actually think this is a pretty good transition to something that I've noticed, like, over the last 4 years in crypto marketing, is like brands are here, you know. Like, I was at ACC for Cannes a couple of weeks ago, so was Maria, and, like, I was kind of shocked by just, like, the level and quality of, like, some of the branding style events, you know, that I saw. And this is, like, a major change, because, like, when I started, like, every project put out the same, like, techno music, like, animated video for their, like, feature that, like, 3 people cared about or understood. And, like, now we're at a place where, you know, micro influencers basically talking nothing about the products and just, like, vibing and, like, making really good video content. Like, that exists now, and that's a thing, and that's a real change, you know. And so I actually think that for projects that are getting started now, they should probably invest heavily in the brand side of things early on, because like if you don't do that, like you are going to be left behind, because there's some really, really, really strong projects now. I mean, look at Base, right? Like Base, they had a huge announcement yesterday, and all the stuff that they did pretty much was like branded. You know, it was a branding initiative. You saw this blue square all over crypto Twitter. Like all these projects are tweeting this. There was like meme coins coming out with just the blue square. Like the brand is here in crypto marketing in a way that it simply wasn't 4 years ago. And like that's a major, major change. Like in terms of your strategy as a marketer, how you structure your team, what type of KOLs or what type of like media strategy you want to have. Like the brand is much, much, much more important than it was, you know, when I first started.
And I think this is also because of we are reaching a more mature phase of the space. So we are at a point where there are products that we can deliver, that we can show. So there is this shift from talking feature to actually talking value. So yeah, this is great. And I think whoever has product market fit and focuses on brand now can really make the difference.
This is a good question because do you think that like product market fit is a necessity to focus on brand, or can brand help you find product market fit?
No, I don't think brand can help you find the product market fit, but you can survive just with vibes, and we see this all.
I don't want to knock SoFi, but this is a good example, right? Like they're a chain, they have some dApps, they raise some money, but like, I mean, what is SoFi?
Yeah, but it can help. Sorry, it can't help, I agree. But it gives you time, you know? So in the meantime, you're doing something. You are building the brand, and you're building people interested, and you're building audience for when you finally find your product market fit. Then it can go into ways, like you can fail completely and let go a lot of people at this point because you grab a lot of attention, or you succeed and you find the product. And also attracting attention and attracting people gives you the chance to talk with them more, you know, and so maybe it helps a bit in finding the product market fit. I don't know.
I'd also argue that crypto is unique to other industries in this way in some capacity, because I sort of think that the only two things that really matter are like FOMO and hype in some capacity. You know, if you really boil it down, it's like FOMO, oh shit, I should have bought that thing, I should have done that thing, I should have done this, somebody else did, I didn't know about that, I didn't have the alpha, so like the FOMO piece, or like, whoa, that looks cool, I want to be a part of this. Like those two things are like your real like currency, you know, in this industry. And the thing that crypto offers is that with a brand like SoFi, their branding right now is just like on point.
Yeah.
Like, it's really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And so nobody knows necessarily what they're doing or how they're going to differentiate from any other chain that exists, but people are seeing how they differentiate at the brand level. And so it definitely buys them time to figure out the answer to the second part of the question, because people are like, I don't know why I'm buying SoFi or holding it, but like I'm doing it, you know, because they don't want to either be in the FOMO place or they just think that looks cool and I want to be a part of it. So like the hype and FOMO thing is real in this industry, and like I think most marketers have to in some way reckon with one or both of those two things to do anything. Because if you're not hitting either one of those things, then like I don't know how your project lasts. I guess maybe if you're just like making people money, you know, at the end of the day, like if you straight up are able to make people positive sum money, which doesn't really exist in this space either, maybe. But like I think that as a marketer, you got to be playing with one or both of those emotions, because they are things that actually make people do things, and critically like make people do irrational things, which is like I think really powerful too.
Yeah, I think we don't have much time left. So I would close this with a more personal, let's say, take and question, which is what would be the tip that you want to give to a team that needs the first move, marketing move that you would do? If you have like a crypto project. I will start.
Okay.
Hire a marketing person. Because, this is true, guys, because a lot of times there are these projects with, I don't know, already a 15 people team, mostly devs, 13 people devs, the founder and maybe a CEO, that come with already probably the product almost finished, which has no fit in the market, and then they try to hire a marketing person too late to tell them this is not a product market fit. So in my opinion, the advice is hire the marketer before you implement the final idea of the product, because they will tell you if there is a product market fit and if they will be able to sell this outside to the market. So this is my suggestion.
Totally agree, and I would also add, talk to users. Don't wait to talk to users. Show your product, even if it's not ready, your MVP, and do research and collect the feedback, because this is the only way to achieve a product market fit. So even without a marketing person, if you cannot afford it, do this.
This is a wonderful piece of advice. I guess most people are aware of Pump.Fun right now. So they didn't have a marketer, but their like sort of famous, like probably cliche growth story at this moment is that like Alan, their CEO, he DM'd like 5,000 people on Twitter before they even had any like users or anything, and just was like, this is the thing, this is what we're doing, what do you think about it? Can you give me some feedback? I'll get on a call with you. Like literally 5,000. And by that point, he had interacted with so many people and they iterated so fast that like the product could become what it became. This is, by the way, similar to Clanker. Like they were very active in terms of engaging with lots of different users, getting people to test their different AI agents before they ultimately became, Clanker and launched several different like very, very, very popular meme coins. Great advice. I would say like my advice to anyone trying to do marketing in this space or thinking about hiring a marketer is like, be ready for a lot of like, you have to justify your own existence, like in these teams. Like I'm not kidding. Is it like I've worked in tech I've worked for 15 years in tech, and like you always, when you're dealing with technical people in some way, shape, or form, in my opinion, have to do this. But in crypto, it's very, very, very like extreme. And like I know a lot of, I'm sure Maria, everybody does too, but like I know a lot of good marketers who've like basically lost jobs because like their CEO was like totally unreasonable. You face a lot of criticism in the space, and just like develop a thick skin. And on the reverse side of things, be ready to educate, because I'm telling you, the people that you end up working for and with, like they don't know how to do this. And so like develop a thick skin, but also like flex your muscles and be ready to educate your team. Because like, be patient too. And like, to me, one of the things that I was like really sort of, again, coming from Web 2, like most CEOs in Web 2, even if they don't necessarily get all aspects of marketing, they kind of understand the way that like a marketing mix works. Like you're going to have several channels, you're going to have to do this, because there's like a lot of playbooks that exist that kind of like are just tried and true. And in crypto, what I've found is that a lot of these founders like literally even describing what their product is, like a protocol, right? A protocol is not like an email app, you know what I mean, or something like that. So they literally don't know how they're going to acquire users, and they hire this marketer and they think like, great, solved, everything's fixed. And you're like, yeah, but we got to do some work. And they're like, no, you got to like 10x everything by the next month. And you're like, what? Hold on. So you have to like do a little bit of education, but also like be ready to like.
What's the product?
Yes, exactly.
What are you selling?
Viral.
The next what?
Just like screaming buzzwords at you. Okay. But seriously, be ready to flex those muscles, because you'll have to, but also just like, I think that educating the teams that you're working with is a really good strategy and approach, because like they don't know, they do not know. So like when you're trying to say like what you want to do, going and like really trying to explain why you're doing something, why you're like what the method is to your madness here, like it really works, because then they're like, oh, okay, I get it. And like then you can have a little bit more leeway.
That's it. Time is over. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Great panel. If you have any questions for the team later, make sure to reach out to them and ask them anything related to marketing and crypto. Thank you, guys.